record. And let's see, attendance will be a part of your grade. There will be a column in Blackboard for attendance. Attendance will be 5% of your grade. And what it'll be is the percent of classes that you attend. I think right now in the Blackboard attendance, it's set up that you get full credit if you're there on time when I call your name. If you're late, if I mark it that you're late, you get half credit. But as long as you make sure you let me know that you've been in class if you weren't there at the beginning of class when I call roll. I'll be kind of lenient with whether I consider people late or not. And I also know with the pandemic and everything being online, some people have other things going on in their lives. If there's ever any time that comes up that you can't attend class, please make a point of contacting me either via email or through my office hours, and we'll talk about the attendance being mandatory. But okay, Rizwana Berry?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And you want to tell us all something interesting about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Anything you want to share? What program are you in?
Huh?
What are you going to school for?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. That's why I took like liberal arts, like general aids, because I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. So.
Okay. Very cool.
So yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm just like exploring, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Taj Cole, are you here?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Tajnique, and my program is Human Services.
Okay. All right. Hey, I forgot to tell you folks all my biggest news of the summer. I am officially a grandparent. We had our first grandchild.
Congratulations.
June. So we've been spending a lot of time going down to the Hudson Valley where my daughter lives. Okay. Maddie Dole. Maddie?
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Good. Do you want to tell us something about yourself?
There's nothing that interesting.
Oh, well, that you're in a math class is very interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Peter Eberhardt.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Good. Did you want to tell us something about yourself?
I am also in a math class.
Okay. All right. We will go with the obvious. Lauren Edgar.
Here. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. And what program are you in?
Humanities and social sciences.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Natalie Farr. Natalie Farr.
Hi. Sorry, it's cutting in and out. I'm right here. It's just cutting in and out. My internet's pretty bad.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I'm glad you're here. Cliff. Jenge. I'm sorry, Cliff. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And what program are you in?
Personal training.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So you're with John Strong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Emma Helpin?
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What program are you in, hon?
I'm in health studies.
Okay. All right. All right. Umaru Haidara? I'm sorry if I mispronounced
Yeah,
it.
that's me.
How do you pronounce your first name, sir?
Umaru.
Umaru? Okay. And how are you?
Good.
Good. And what program are you in?
Communication.
Okay. All right. So correct me every time I misspeak, please, because I trip over my tongue a lot. Okay. Taylor Lockwood.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. Did you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
I play in the basketball team at N-Trip.
Okay. All right. Are you guys having a season this year?
They said we are, but we're still not sure. We're gonna have practice and everything, but we're just playing by ear right now.
All right. I hope everything goes well. Zorianne Luca?
Call me Zori.
Zori? Okay. All
Yes,
right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And what program are you in?
Liberal arts.
Okay. All right. Rachel Moore? Rachel Moore.
I'm here. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And what program are you in?
I'm planning to go into phlebotomy. I was working as a CNA, and because of this pandemic, I decided to stop. So my husband said, instead of staying at home, do something. So I decided to start this high school diploma. Okay. So it's like after 20 years of school, I'm starting all over again. It's kind of overwhelming, but I'm really excited, like starting all over again.
Good. I'm glad you made that decision.
Thank you.
Janasia Mulkey? Janasia? No? Brianna Pringle?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And what program are you in, hon?
Liberal arts.
Liberal arts? Okay, and what do you plan on doing with that?
I'm stuck between two majors. I don't know which one I want to do. So I stuck with liberal arts. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do.
Pick the one that has more math in it, okay? All right. Hussein's Sad?
Sad. Yeah, sad.
Sad? How are you?
Good, you?
Good. And what program are you in?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice. Okay. All right. That's a good program at the college. Very cool. Janishela Scarborough.
It's Janishela.
You know what? It sounds so much prettier when you say it. I apologize. I might slaughter it the first couple of times. And I'm sorry. It's the Buffalo accent, I think. What program are you in?
I'm in communications, but you can call me Ariel.
Ariel. Okay. All right. I'll have to write that down. Jada Smith.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And what program are you in?
Criminal justice.
Okay. All right. Sonia Swan.
I'm here.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. And what program are you in?
Human services.
Okay. All right. Brendan Villardo. Brendan? Aaliyah Weaver?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. And what program are you in?
I'm just in liberal arts for now. I'm figuring out what I want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, glad you're here.
Thank you.
Haley White?
Yes, Kylie.
Kylie, I'm sorry. How are you?
I'm good, you?
Good. And what program are you in?
Sports management.
Okay. All right. That's is that Lori, why can't I can picture her and I can't think of her name. In business?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My sister's son-in-law went into sports management, so very interesting. Adam Wojtyla?
Wojtyla.
Hi,
It's
Adam.
okay.
How are you?
I'm good. As for introductions, I'm an animation major, and I've never been good at math.
Oh, but you know what? You have to stop saying that because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In my book, everybody starts the first day with 100 average, and you have to work hard to bring it down. Keep it up there, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Will do.
and Heather Zuccari. Heather?
I'm right here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. And what program are you in?
I'm a theater arts major.
Okay, all right. Very cool, very cool. So one day you'll be rich and famous and I'll have your autograph on something, hopefully. Yes?
I'm not going into acting. I'm going into the technical side. I would like to continue with stage management.
Okay. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. So, okay, so let me start by sharing my screen. I'd like to show you folks where you're going to find everything in class and walk through the syllabus with you. So let's see how this goes. So when you start on the college homepage, if you go up to My Triple C and go to Blackboard Learn, the first thing that you need to do is log in, and your login name should be what's in front of the @ symbol in your college email address. And hopefully everybody's gotten into Blackboard and gotten into their email and has a password. So when you go through and sign in, you should get a page that I think for you guys as students, it looks a little bit different than this, but it should have a list of all of your classes for the semester. And my internet is a little slow this morning, I'm sorry. This is Math 106, we're section 4. So I'm gonna click on the class. And again, when I go in, it looks a little bit different for me than it does for you. So I'm gonna have to just click on a button here to, it's a student view that it'll give to me. And so this, as we go down, this is the home page. The important first day information is the stuff that I emailed you a couple of times last week. It's just the login information for Zoom as an announcement. And I'm going to try to use the same Zoom link for the entire semester. So, you know, if you ever need to get to that Zoom link, it's here. Most of the other things that we need for the semester is going to be over here in this link, content. And the first thing that's in there is the syllabus. The syllabus is in here as a PDF document. And what I'd like to do is start by going through that today. My office hours are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 10, the hour before class. Tuesday and Thursday, they're going to be from 10 to 11. I'm going to be holding the office hours in Zooms. So basically, I'm going to be sitting here at my desk with Zoom open. And if anybody wants to stop in, it's going to be my generic Zoom link. And I'll show you in a couple minutes where you can find that. Probably, if you need to get a hold of me outside of class, probably the easiest way is through email. I have my office phone number here, and I'm going to try to remember to check my office phone number for messages on a daily basis. But because I'm not going to be on campus very much this semester, email's probably the better way of getting hold of me. In terms of textbook, I'm not going to require that you have a paper copy of the textbook. If you want to, it's that Blitzer book, Mathematically Thinking. And I have to apologize, I'm not real positive which edition we're using right now, but it should be available at the bookstore if you want a paper copy. Most people would rather just use the digital copy, which you get access to through MyMathLab. If there's somebody who really, really wants a paper copy of the textbook, let me know, because I have not necessarily the exact same edition, but they're all so similar it isn't funny. And I have a bunch of them, back editions in my office that I can lend you if you want a paper book to go through. Student learning outcomes, basically the course is broken down into 4 units. We're going to start looking at sets. From sets, we're going to look at probability and then statistics. And then we're going to finish off with a unit on consumer finance. There'll be exams, exam given for each unit. They'll be given during class time. I think I'm going to ask that you please take them during the class hour where we Zoom, so we can sort of keep an eye on everybody taking them. The tests will be, this semester I'm going to do a little bit differently, and the questions for the tests are going to be in my math lab, but I'm going to ask that everybody write out their work, pencil and paper, and submit it in Blackboard. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit later, so that I can give partial credit, because the thing with my math lab is they don't give any credit for the work. Participation, and the dates for the exams are in here. I'm going to try to give quizzes during the course of the semester. Some of them will be given at the beginning of class, some at the end of class. I think for most of them, they'll be in Blackboard, and you'll be typing your answers in and submitting your work. Also for each exam, I ask people to do exam corrections. Anything you lose credit on, you're going to redo. It won't change your test grade, but the test corrections will count as a quiz grade. Homework will be in my math lab. Pretty much, I mean, it's a math class. I had a graduate professor once who said that math is not a spectator sport. You really have to participate in order to be successful. I know a couple of you have said that you play sports. I don't think in a sport you can just show up for the games and play. You really have to attend those practices to hone your skills. And that's what homework is to a math class. It's your ability to take what we looked at in class and make sure you can do it on your own. And I'm going to show you, as you do your homework in my math lab, there's all sorts of help functions that are there for you, including ways to ask questions and everything. We'll look at it in a minute. In terms of my COVID policies, like I said at the beginning, we're going to meet as if this were a regular class. It's just that we're going to meet on Zoom instead. I'm going to be taking attendance every day. The tests and the final will be in my math lab. You're going to have to submit your work in order to get credit. The exams are 55% of your grade. The homework is 20% of your grade. Quizzes are 10%. Projects are 10%. I apologize that I skip over projects. In this class, there'll be a project for each chapter. It's asking you to go and take what we learned and apply it to something that interests you. There's the scale here for letter grades. Again, as I said at the beginning, right now I think everybody's starting with an A. Let's work at keeping it up there. If you want to take an SU grade, if you opt to take an SU grade, my policy is you have to have at least a 65 in order to get the S. I think the college is trying to standardize that policy, but the last faculty senate meeting that I attended, it was still up to the instructors, and in my mind, S is like fail. You pass, U is like fail. If anybody needs to take an incomplete for any reason before the end of the semester, contact me as soon as possible. And the cell phone part is in there from holding on-class meetings. Obviously, if you need to take a phone call or something during class now, just mute yourself. But I do think that, don't be playing on a phone or anything during class time, because the less you pay attention, the less successful you'll be. If anybody needs any accommodations from the Accessibility Services offices, the phone number is here. You're going to talk to Stephen Burns if you need extended time for tests or any accommodations like that. If you need any extra help outside of class, at the Academic Center for Excellence, the ACE Center, which is in the library. There is tutoring available. There has always been drop-in help in math in the ACE if you're on campus. I do believe that they will also be offering virtual help. As of our last department meeting, division meeting on Friday, the schedule wasn't set up yet. As soon as I get an email about that and the processes for the semester, I will forward it to you. Academic integrity policy, basically don't cheat or you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You can read through that on your own. Computer usage, obviously, because we're meeting virtually, you're expected to be able to use the computer. You can read that on your own. Starfish, I don't really use Starfish that much to communicate with students. If I need to communicate with you, I'll email you, but periodically we are asked to do things like progress reports through Starfish. And through Starfish, I believe you can also get an academic success coach if you want. Attendance, you're expected to be here. And then that last part, I think I told you I will be recording classes. If there's anything about recording classes that you have an issue with, please let me know. And usually there's a rip-off at the bottom of the syllabus that I ask you to sign and send, give back to me that you agree to the policies. Because we're not meeting in person, instead I'm going to ask you, after you go through and read this a little bit more carefully on your own, to send me an email letting me know that you're all right with all of the class policies. Any questions on any of that? And I have to apologize. I have to remember to check the chat every once in a while to see if anybody has questions in the chat. Anybody have questions on anything? If not, let's go back and in content, I have posted next schedule. It's kind of, you know, by date, what we should be covering each class. So that, you know, if there's a list of the My Math Lab assignments and when they're due and the content based on the chapter and section in the book, the material we're covering, and also has a list of days off. And I'm looking at FCC, yeah, down here, this FCCC. I'm going to need to cancel class that day because I'm the college representative to this organization, and we will be meeting hopefully in Albany on that day. As it gets closer, I'll let you know whether that's actually occurring or not. Next in here, there's a video on how to use My Math Labs if you need it. There's directions on how to upload work to Blackboard if you need it, but I'm going to go through and walk you through that. Here is the link for my office hour Zoom meeting. And I have no idea why that's not showing up right now. Oh, because I'm already in, you know what? There's, oh, I'm sorry. It's a Word document and showing up at the bottom. I apologize. The link to the Zoom that will be the link for my office hour. Going back to here, anything that I'll have as a handout will be available here in Blackboard. I don't use handouts all that much, but there are a couple of sections that we're going to be looking at where there's a lot of word problems involved. And so those, you know, if you want to print them out and work on them on your own, they'll be there. In terms of the next folder notes, that's the folder where I will put the Word documents with the written notes in. The Zoom information, that's where I'll have the the link like in the announcement at the beginning for Zoom class. Tests and quizzes will be posted in here. Over here, there's a place to submit your work for test 1. And so when you click on that, if you're going to type your work, you can click here and there's a field that you can type the submission in. Otherwise, if it's a document that you've saved to your computer, you can upload it here. If you've saved to the cloud, you can upload it here. Otherwise, I was playing with my phone this morning. I just need to find it. And on my phone, I had it open. I guess it isn't anymore. If you're using Blackboard on your phone, when you click Browse My Computer, it gives you an option to take a picture of your work, so that in order to submit your work to me, if you want to submit a cell phone picture of the work, and if you don't have the ability to scan it in, or if you don't want to type it, which I totally understand, because typing math is a pain, you can take a cell phone picture and submit it that way. And that video is goes through that process. So going back to content, there's also a folder there for projects. And again, you'll be submitting your work for your projects that way. Any questions on any of this? Is everybody okay so far?
So work for the tests and projects is just like if we like write down our thinking process for
Yes.
answering a question, that we just submit that then.
And for tests, it's not like if you, but when you, because I really do want to see your handwritten work for the problems, because, well, for two reasons. First, for partial credit. If all I have is an answer, and you're going to be typing the answers into MyMathLab, if all I have is an answer and it's wrong, you get no credit. It's like full credit, no credit. If I have work and there's any signs of intelligent life in that work, I can get partial credit. And I do, you know, if you can get, you know, because I know even myself, sometimes when I'm typing answers in, you know, you type a comma instead of a period and a decimal number, and MyMathLab says it's wrong and you get no credit. But if I can look at your work and see, oh yeah, you did get it right, it's just you mistyped, I'll give you the full credit. So I want to see that work. The other reason is because if you have to write your work by hand, it's hopefully discourages cheating and using somebody else's work and using an app on your phone or something to get the answer, that you have to write that work out. Okay?
Okay.
And I hate bringing up the cheating thing, but it happens at least once or twice. Yes. Any other questions?
So we just do it like on a scrap piece of paper and then just send it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Send in a
So-
paper.
Can
Or
we do that with all our work? Like, and just like looking at the actual assignment and then just doing it on a piece of paper, like
and not for the homework, for the quizzes, for the tests, and for the projects.
Okay.
Okay?
So not for our homework?
Not for homework, just for quizzes, tests, and projects. Okay?
And all our homework and stuff gonna be on Blackboard, right?
All your homework is actually going to be, you're going to access it through Blackboard. But over here, as I look at the toolbar on the side, we've been in content. That next one is MyMathLab. So let's go there. The homework is going to be through MyMathLab.
Do we have to buy a code?
You do have to buy a code, yes. And you can buy that code through the bookstore. I think that if you're using financial aid, it's probably easier to purchase it through the bookstore. But if you're not using financial aid, if you're paying on your own, I'm clicking over here, and now because I'm in student view, it's going in as if I'm a student. You're going to have to create an account. It's not asking me to do that because I have a bunch of accounts here. When you create your account in My Math Lab, the first screen is going to ask you to do that unless you've used it before. Put in an email address that you're going to check regularly, because you're going to see that in My Math Lab, there's a place where you can ask a question. And if you ask me a question, I will respond to it. Hopefully, like within a few hours. If you don't get a response from me within a few hours, ask the question again. If you send me an email and you don't get a response within a few hours, please repeat it, unless it's at night. I have to apologize. I've reached that age group where I'm more likely to be asleep by like 10 o'clock at night. But if you send me a question like after 10 o'clock at night, you will probably get that answer well before 7 o'clock in the morning, because I'm usually up like at 5. Looking at this screen here, after you register and create an account, if you have an access code from the bookstore already, you're going to click this part on the left-hand side of the page, access code, and type it in.
If not, do we buy the 18 weeks one?
You know what? If not, what you buy is up to you. The 18-week one gives you 1 semester. I am hoping that everybody finishes this course within 1 semester. So that if you have confidence that you're going to pass within 1 semester, buy the 18-week one.
Gotcha.
If you think it's going to take you more than 1 semester, buy the 24-week one, because otherwise you're going to have to rebuy the 18-week one. But hopefully everybody can get by with that 18-week one. Here's the dealio though. I don't, if you can't get to the bookstore right away, if you need to budget buying it, you can still get started right away. Do you see down here at the bottom this other sentence that says waiting for financial aid, get temporary access without payment for 14 days? So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to give me access for 2 weeks. And so for 2 weeks, I can use My Math Lab for free. And then after 2 weeks, it's going to kick me out and ask me for that access code. Again, you could type in that access code that you bought at the bookstore, or you can purchase it online for the $69 or $105, whichever you choose to do. And there's an asterisk here. I don't want anybody to not be successful because they can't afford the materials. If there's something going on in your life and you can't afford the materials, let me know. I can give PDF documents that you can do like worksheets and fill in and submit to me. You lose the chance to do it over and over and over again till you get it right. You're going to find in My Math Lab, you get to repeat questions over and over and again till you get it right. And there are help functions involved. If you do it as worksheets, you don't get those help functions. But again, I don't want to lose any students because of financial reasons, so just talk to me. And backtracking a little bit, something that I forgot to say earlier on. If anything happens that all of a sudden your computer's down, or if you find whatever device you have isn't sufficient to take your classes virtually, please contact me. Please contact OIT at the college. They do have some computers available for students that need them. SUNY, the state, has made grants available for campuses to purchase computers to loan students. Also, if your computer's down, feel free to go on campus and use the computers in the Learning Commons. Also, if your internet isn't real strong, if you don't feel comfortable going into the college, I do believe that they've made the Wi-Fi that's available to you on campus available in the parking lots. If that gives you a stronger internet connection, you know, feel free to go on campus. I believe there's a couple of picnic tables outside you can sit at, things like that. If anything comes up though, and you can't, your internet's not good or you can't purchase a MyMathLab, please don't just disappear. Please don't think that people don't care. Reach out to us. We really, really want to see you successfully complete this semester, your courses. So please, if you need help with anything, just talk to us. I know that as a professor and as an advisor, nothing breaks my heart more than when a student disappears, or as an advisor, when I have a student who's gone through a lot come in and say, oh, I'm struggling with this class, I want to drop it. First words out of my mouth are, did you talk to your instructor? And usually the answer is no. And that's part of the difference between a community college and a four-year school. We're not here to do research. We're here to help you guys pass. You got to communicate with us. If there's anything going on that you need help, let us know. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm preaching. That's the mom and me talking. So, but let's go to the course and I can show you what you're going to see in MyMathLab. And it's going to be a little bit slow the first couple days because colleges all over the country are starting. If you ever have a problem with MyMathLab, I don't think they have people manning the phones yet because of the pandemic. There is a place, and I apologize, I forgot to look it up before class today. I will do due diligence and show you if you have a problem, a technical difficulty with Pearson, how you can reach them next class. What we've got here is a list of all of the assignments, both tests and quizzes. You can see when they're due. In terms of if an assignment is past due, it will say past due. My policy, once it's past due, it doesn't mean don't work on it anymore. If you didn't finish something and it says past due, if you didn't start something and it says past due, you can still click on it and work on it. It's just you won't get full credit. There's a late penalty. The late penalty is like 2.5% for each day late. So let's say you didn't start a homework assignment and you do it one day late. What that means, and it's going to pop up and say there's a late penalty. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes, you want to do it, because if you don't do it, you get a 0 on the assignment. If you do it one day late, the best you can get is a 97.5 as opposed to 100. If you got the assignment half started, the late penalty will only be assessed, not to all the questions, but just the ones that you do after the due date. I promise no matter how late something is, as long as you do an assignment, you will always get at least half credit. At the end of the semester, I go through and look at every late assignment, and if there's any question that anybody gets less than half credit for, I go through and give you at least half credit for it. So let's click on homework 1. And when the homework is open, you get a list of the questions. I'm going to just randomly pick a question. And as you look at it, you're going to see, hopefully I picked a good one. Oh, this is a true false one. So I am going to intentionally get it wrong. And it's going to tell me that it's wrong. But you see, I can go to the next question, or I can go to a similar question. And with a similar question, I have the opportunity to redo it and get it right. Questions, they usually, if they're not true false, they usually give you 3 chances at it before they tell you to pick another question. Up here on the top right-hand corner, there's question help. Question help, there's a help me solve this. If you click on help me solve this, it walks you through how to do the problem. Since you're getting that help doing the problem, after you close it, they're going to give you a similar problem to try on your own. Over here, it takes you to the textbook. It's a virtual copy of the page of the virtual copy of the textbook where the content is taught. And I apologize, I don't know why there's an error there. I'll show you also another place where you can get that virtual textbook. There's also over here, Ask My Instructor. Ask My Instructor sends me the question you were working on and any question that you have about it. And this is where, again, I will respond to you, and the response should go to whatever email address you put in. Let's see. There's also this option here, print. I know that some people don't like sitting in front of the computer while they do their homework. If that's the case, you can print out the whole assignment like a worksheet, do it pencil and paper, and then type your answers back in. So this part of my math lab, okay. If so, I'm going to, and you don't have to click save. If you put an answer in, it'll automatically save it. If you want to go through and try things again in a review mode, you can. It always saves the best score on an assignment. If you look over here, it says I got the one question right. The other one that I didn't do, I have wrong. Right now, my score isn't real good because I only have one right question, but let me go back to in here, Blackboard, My Math Lab. Over here, My Math Lab, the multimedia library, that will take you to that virtual textbook. So if you see the assignment says chapter 2, section, it's 2.1, so it's chapter 2, section 1. And this will take me to that virtual textbook. And you can actually go through and, I gotta click this link down below, some pages on the virtual textbook, so that if you want to read it from the textbook, in addition to having your notes and looking at things in My Math Lab, you've got access to the textbook there. There are also, I'm waiting for the textbook to pop up, and it's slow. Do you guys want to wait for it, or is seeing how to access it good enough for you? Can I exit this and go on to the next part?
Pardon?
I
don't know. This section 2, where you have section 2.1, is that where you have the E? Like, because I printed the schedule out. Is it the E section? Like 2.1, 2.2, 2.3.
Right.
Is it the same?
That's so it's section chapter 2, section 1. Chapter 2, section 3, that's 2. That's what the 2.1, 2.2 means.
Okay.
Okay, because it's, I mean, I do try to follow along with the textbook, and so I put that numbering in there because we're not covering the whole book, and so that's where you would find it in the textbook. Okay?
Okay.
And there's another thing that's in here too. There are videos that you can watch. If you want to watch the videos for chapter 2, it's somebody else at a dry erase board explaining the content. If you want to see the videos, you know, in a different voice, that's there too. Okay? So that's My Math Lab. Any questions on that?
If your email is different from the one you use in class, is that supposed to be a problem?
No, just make sure you type the email address in correctly, because it's, you know, there are times where it takes me a half an hour to type the work out and you know, paragraphs of how to do something. And there's nothing more frustrating when I hit send and it comes back to me because it was sent to a bad email address.
Okay.
Use your Ntrip email address. I can sort of like go in Bannerweb and try to look up the right one and forward my response to you. But just make sure you type that address in right so you actually do get the answers, whatever email you use. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, because my email on that website is the one I use for my placement test. So I didn't change it when I ordered the $69.99.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I don't know if I did something crazy.
No, it's just make sure it's an email that you check. If you send me a question, look for answers. That's another thing that always amazes me when my classes meet in person. People walk in like 2 days later and say, hey, did you get my email? And I'll respond, yes. Hey, did you get my response? And they'll tell me, I didn't look. It's like, oh, now if you send me an email, look for a response, okay?
Okay.
If you want to contact me via email, I gave you my email address in the syllabus, but I think that all of our email addresses are too long to type. Probably the easiest way to email anybody is through Blackboard. And so I'm going to go back. I'm back in Blackboard now. If I click send email, what you can do is you can send an email to absolutely anybody that you want in class. We can send, this is how I'll send an email. And please check your N-Trip email, because that's where your Blackboard email goes to. If anything happens that I have to cancel class or anything like that, I'll send an email this way. Also, the college went paperless a while ago, and so any important information that you need to get will be sent to that email, so make sure you check it. Or you can go down here and you can select users, and so you can, through the select users, send an email to absolutely anybody that you want in class. I'm going to select everybody, and I'm going to send an email. It's going to just be welcome. And I'm going to just say hi, and it's a very dull email. Click submit, just to give you an idea as to how to send email. If you want to just email me, you can pick my name out of that list, or if you click all instructors, the email will just go to me. Another thing that I use Blackboard for, the only grade book that I use is the MyMathLab and the Blackboard grade book. And so your grades should be in here. Right now, we haven't submitted anything, so there isn't anything in there. But once I grade something, because the Blackboard grade book is the only grade book that I use, you should be able to immediately see how you did on it. You should not feel the need to say, hey, how am I doing in class? What's my grade? In my mind, they're your grades. You should have access to them at any point in time. The only time that this grade book and the MyMathLab grade book aren't going to be accurate is because I let people work on assignments in MyMathLab late. I don't submit zeros for missing assignments until the end of the semester. So if you were real good about doing homework at the beginning of the semester and then drop off, don't be surprised if at the end of the semester your grade plummets, because I will submit zeros for missing grades at the end of the semester. And I also will only update the MyMathLab average at the end of each unit. So your MyMathLab grades won't be averaged in until the end of each unit. Okay? So that's all like the policy type stuff. Does anybody have questions on any of that? Kind of went through it fast. If you do have a question, send me an email. If you're wondering how something works or can't remember where to find something, let me know. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, oh crap. I talked too long. We're supposed to go till 10 of, and it's 10 of, and I wanted to start doing math today. I wanted to do a little bit of introduction into that first section set.
So darn.
It's okay. We got another time.
Doing the math is the much more fun part. I guess we'll wait until Wednesday to start looking at that set stuff. Please do me a favor and log in to register for that MyMathLab. If you've got an access code from the bookstore already, great. If you're going to buy it from the website and put a credit card in, great. If you're not going to be able to do that for a couple of days, get that access so you can get in there and start. Okay? Please make sure you go through and read over the syllabus and send me an email that you agree to things. And if you don't agree to things, send me an email to what you don't agree with and we can talk about it. Otherwise, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, I will be in that Zoom office hour meeting. Stop by and say hello. I hate sitting in front of Zoom with nobody there. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank
It's
you.
good seeing you.
Thank
And
you.
Yeah, take care.
Long taking roll next time. It's nice meeting you folks. Have a good one.
You too,
Good
man.
night.
Thank you.
All right.
You take care.
Bye-bye.
All right now.
Yeah.